Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to a special edition of That's a Shoot. This is usually on Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays when we're doing the predictions episode of a pay per view that's on Sunday, but we have a pay per view on tomorrow. So the predictions episode is today. We're predicting Crown Jewel. On the year, I am 72 and 22. Last time in Extreme Rules, I went 5 and 2. We have 9 matches. No special one today because you can't come up with the one for this episode. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it with our predictions episode. No other thoughts. No, probably go into the whole AEW and versus WWE stuff on Friday. But all you need to know is WWE won. Forget what everybody else says. Anybody who talks about demos is they're talking about propaganda and they're losers, right? They're losers. They're big losers. WWE won huge. So, horrible Donald Trump, but but yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna go into that. This is just about Crown Jewel and the predictions. Let's get right to it. First up, as normally when it comes to the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, Mansoor has a match. He's taking on Mustafa Ali. Afterwards, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor had been teaming the last couple of months, coming together to try and fix what was going on with them and everything like that. Try to Mustafa Ali trying to take Mansoor's wing, but they decided to match at Crown, so Mansoor can have a match in his hometown of Saudi Arabia, his home state, his home country of Saudi Arabia. So obviously, this is one of maybe the easiest prediction. Mansoor beats Mustafa Ali. So for the Queen's Crown final, we have Zelina Vega versus Doudrop. A surprising final, particularly when you look at the bracket and you pretty much thought, well, it's probably going to be Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. So, but it ends up being Doudrop versus Zelina Vega. So here we have it. There's been some talk, some rumors about speculation about why Shayna Baszler isn't in the finals. Maybe she's not somehow allowed to go to Saudi Arabia for whatever reason. None was ever really given or anything like that. I'm not sure if I want to speculate on anything like that. That's target, or maybe it's just the fact that when it came up to Queen's Crown tournament, they said, well, Dewdrop and Zelina Vega, and then that's what they just two that just said, so I mean, when you look at it, Queen Zelina would be fun. I think it would be fun. It would be interesting. It would be fun to see what that goes to. But Queen Dewdrop, I guess you could put it on Dewdrop because obviously once all this gets over and Becky Lynch is on Raw, right, and she's on Raw and she's the champion. I'm guessing that's just what that's what you want to do, right? You want to just put the champion on the show. Um, and then maybe you want to give her. You don't want her to continue to feud with Bianca Belair. You want to give her some other competitors, and maybe the first one you want to do is you want to give her the Queen of the Ring, basically. So I'm not sure. Personally, I would love to see Zelina Vega win it. I think that's a good start for maybe the firing that happened, and that's a good makeup for also firing her husband. But I think I don't know. I just got a feeling it's gonna be Dewdrop. So I'm saying Dewdrop is gonna be your first ever Queen's Crown winner. In the finals of the King of the Ring, you have Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods. Now I talked about this a week or two ago that this kind of felt like that this could be a place where the Demon would come out, and it would be Xavier Woods versus the Demon. And and that's how you would not put the title on Xavier Woods, and you would get the Demon back, and he would be, and the Demon King would actually be the Demon King for real. It would also be a good way to turn Finn heel, right? And then have him feud with Big E, because you have so many people who's ready to feud with Big E. You have AJ Styles, who once he gets through with this RK Bro stuff, AJ Styles is ready. You could turn Finn Balor heel; he'll be ready. There's many others, that are on Raw that could be stacked up and be ready to feud with Mr. Big E. So, and you have time too, because now you're going into the Raw versus SmackDown episode version of the year with Survivor Series. So now you can build these other guys up to be the, big. So a Finn Balor heel turn, could be, you could be. I don't want to say a slow burn, because a slow burn is almost, it's like a few months of this. It's a few months of this, of doing this. But it could, but you can do it within 3 or 4 weeks. In the Monday before the show, you could have Finn Balor turn on Big E, and then that leads to Finn Balor versus Big E at TLC. It would be awesome. But then the thing is, do you want to give Xavier Woods his due? Do you want to give him that? This is another one that is very interesting. See, for me, I'm one of those guys where see, everybody wants the feel good story, right? But I also like storytelling, and I think a great story would be is Xavier wants this so bad, and he loses, then he comes back next year and finally wins it, right? Because that's the way to go about it. So for me, I'm gonna say Finn Balor wins and he becomes the king of the ring. The Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line. I just talked about this. RK Bros taking on AJ Styles and Omos. Um, to me, I don't think they do. I think the only title change they've done, well, no, they've done two actually. They've done the one when Roman had to release it because of cancer. Then they had Brock and Braun have the match, and then of course they did the whole Goldberg thing before the pandemic happened uh, in last year. So, but I don't think there's going to be a tag title change here. Again, I think RK Bro stands tall. And like I said, I think they're gonna, I think they can and they should move AJ Styles into the main event scene, and that would also give almost a lot of chance to continue to work on the fundamentals back at the performance center. So yeah, I see this as a victory for RK Bro, defeating AJ Styles almost. Although they could very well put the titles back on AJ Styles and almost. I don't think they would do it here though. So I'm going to say RK Bro retains the Raw Tag Team Champions. I know there's like an edict in WWE where um it's pretty much been like said that Roman Reigns is going to be the main event of every show. Um, that's just the way it is. It's about it's not only about like the work he's doing, but it's also about his character. Being the head of the table, the tribal chief, you're either the first to go on or you're the last to go on. You don't go on in the middle. And I'm gonna say that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar goes on last. However, if they wanted to switch it up and have Roman and Brock go on first, this next match would be worthy of going on last. Great build, love the story. Seth Rollins versus Edge inside Hell in a Cell. Incredible, incredible timing for these guys, and I really just I enjoyed everything about this. The match at SummerSlam was great. The match on SmackDown was great. Love the story. Love the story of him going into the town and going and finding Edge's house and going in there and doing all that other stuff. I even think he could have been more of a dick, and he could have done some other things inside the house other than just stay there and just be ready. Wait for Daniel and David to to get there. Um, so I think this is good. Both are going over to Raw, so in theory this feud could still continue, but this should be the ending of this feud. And Seth Rollins is another person that you say, hey, you know, he's another person that could be a perfect foil for Big E to go on to and face. And they can obviously at some point maybe do an Edge Big E match. That could be on a Monday Night Raw. That could be on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Over the next couple months. It doesn't have to be at a pay per view. So, um, and listen, and it doesn't do anything with Edge. Edge is a Hall of Famer. We know about Edge. It doesn't hurt Edge. So, nothing really hurts Edge in theory. So I think really what you have to do is this has to be. See, if this was old school, what this would be, I think what this would be is that you would have Edge kind of destroy Seth Rollins. He would like bust him open and everything like that, and that's how he would get his revenge. But Seth Rollins would maybe do something to turn the tide and get a kind of cheap type of victory. Although you can't get a cheap type of victory in Hell in a Cell, but he would do something to get that, and then he would get the victory, and then he would escape with his life, basically. And they can still do that. It says that's what then there's not won't do without the blood. Uh, so I would guess the right one here is for Seth Rollins to win. Um, so I'm going to say Seth Rollins wins the Hell in a Cell match. I was going to say something about us seeing a live murder in Saudi Arabia, but maybe that was not the right way to go. Uh, with the history and everything like that. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, no disqualification match. Listen, Goldberg has been talking about, he's been using the term killing Bobby Lashley um, at Saudi Arabia. So again, I'm not sure what are they going to do. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Um, I'm not, Goldberg just had surgery. And he said he's not even fully healthy, so I'm not sure what they're necessarily going to do here at Crown Jewel. Um, I worry about how this is going to go over with not only the fans there but the fans here watching. Um, to me, this is something that what you do is you again it's it is kind of a toss up because Bobby Lashley has lost his last couple of matches with Big E, right? And he lost a triple threat match to Roman Reigns, and he's lost to Big E and everything like that, and twice. So you'd think Bobby Lashley would need a win, but doesn't the story say that Goldberg needs to get revenge on Bobby Lashley for what he did to his son? Isn't that the story that you're telling? So maybe Bobby Lashley picks up wins afterwards, and maybe he'll be the sole survivor for the men's team at Survivor Series. Maybe that's the way they'll fix Bobby Lashley, and who knows? Maybe Bobby Lashley will even win the Royal Rumble, and it'll be him and Big E at the WrestleMania one more time. Yeah, to me, it is common sense that says you need to get revenge on Bobby for what did to Goldberg's son. So yeah, I'm gonna say Goldberg wins. For the WWE Championship, we're gonna have Drew McIntyre versus Big E. This is a good versus good match, and this is what Big E wants: big meaty men slapping meat. Um, and it's not, as he said, not gonna be your 5-star classics. Um, but it still should be good. Drew McIntyre is going over he's going over to SmackDown. I don't think he's taking the WWE Championship with him. Um, I think it's probably not. If they didn't. Well, I shouldn't say that because Big E can still lose it at the before Survivor Series. So, but I just don't see that happening. So, um, so here it is. I think this is another easy one. I think Big E retains. He seems to do the championship, and yeah, and then I think he goes on and he's going on to face Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, and it's going to be another match of big meaty men slapping meat. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch taking on Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Now, if Bianca Belair would have won the Raw Women's Championship, I would have said that Sasha Banks here would have won the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that way he would have been on both shows. But after Charlotte Flair retains her Raw Women's Championship, to me, it just makes sense that Becky Lynch retains. It also makes sense that when you go into Survivor Series, you want to have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, because that's going to be a marquee matchup. You want that, unless they do another last second title change and that. And because again, I don't think they're going to do one with the Universal or the WWE Championship. So maybe they do one with the women's, where Becky or Charlotte loses before Survivor Series. Maybe not. Um, but yeah, I think that's what the deal is. So um, again, Uh, a second women's match, another history first. Crown Jewel called to have two women's matches. Um, and hopefully that does happen. I'm worried that when they get there, the government will say, "Nah, let's choose with just one women's match, and then and then they're obviously gonna do this one, and Doudrop and Zelina Vega would have gone there for nothing." But um, that being said, I'm picking Becky Lynch to retain her SmackDown Women's Championship, and we'll get a title swap between Becky and Charlotte. And of course, for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns taking on Brock Lesnar. This is probably the most worried I've been about this, um, about a Roman Reigns match. Hmm. Probably, probably to date. I was a little bit worried about the SummerSlam match with John Cena. I was, but I pretty much thought he was gonna. This one, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. I'm not, especially with the reports that they want to do Roman and Brock again at WrestleMania. Since now they obviously know that they can't do The Rock, and Roman at WrestleMania. And here's my thing on that, because and the reason why I'm worried is because I think the story is, and maybe this is on me. I always say that you know the fans need to blame themselves for their quote unquote dislike of what WWE does, because they fantasy book in their head how they want stuff to go, and when it doesn't come to fruition, then I'm like, oh, I didn't like it, or they didn't give me what I wanted, yada yada yada. But the WWE is telling a story. So I fantasy booked in my head the story of Roman Reigns being the dominant Universal Champion and being the head of the table, the tribal chief, all of that for as long as possible, and him losing the Universal Championship is what causes him to go after The Rock, because he goes and he wants acknowledgement. So Roman Reigns, he goes and he beats everybody, right? He beats everybody, and then he wants the acknowledgement for all his family, from Alpha and Sika and the Usos and everybody else. that's related to the Samoan dynasty, and he doesn't get it from The Rock, or at least he doesn't get it the way he wants it. Maybe The Rock gives it to him via satellite on tape delay, but he wants it in person. Paul, why didn't Dwayne come in person? You know, things like that, and then that causes, and then when The Rock is finally in person to acknowledge him, or maybe he doesn't acknowledge him in person, something like that. That causes him to get flustered, lose the championship, and he goes up to The Rock, and the reason why he lost the championship because of The Rock. He attacks The Rock, and that's what leads to the match at WrestleMania between him and The Rock. Well, to be the true head of the table, the true tribal chief, he needs to take down The Rock, and he does. Right? That's the story. But what if the story is that Roman Reigns just can't seem to beat Brock Lesnar for real? I mean, he beat him at SummerSlam, but did he? Was it really that? Because you can say that this that SummerSlam match was you know it was just maybe that Brock Lesnar knocked himself out because the chair fell on his face, so maybe not Brock Lesnar knocked himself out, you know, or anything like that. So, and I don't know. And I don't know. And is this match going to be again power move, power move, power move? Spear, 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 F5, F5, F5. Or are they going to go out and have what they've been claiming to have one of the best matches of of the year. So I'm really worried. I'm going to choose Roman Reigns just because even if they still, you know, 'cause I think they still know that right now Roman with the title is still what's best for business. He'll bring that championship every SmackDown, every Friday night on SmackDown, and he'll raise that championship, and it'll still be there. And he won't be on Brock Lesnar's chest. Now, I guess the question would be that if Drew McIntyre beats Big E for the WWE Championship, that's when I'll really be worried, because then Drew McIntyre will go to SmackDown with the WWE Championship, and then maybe of course they'll do Reigns and Drew there, and Reigns will beat Drew for that. But oh boy. And they even mentioned it on SmackDown. You said Roman Reigns wants to get past that 500-day reign of Brock Lesnar. He's not doing it, with this. He's not doing it losing it to Lesnar. So it's got to be Reigns. It's got to be Reigns. It's got to be. So to recap, Mansoor will defeat Mustafa Ali. Doudrop will be the first ever Queen's Crown winner. Finn Balor will truly be the Demon King, winning the King of the Ring. RK Bro will retain the Raw Tag Team Championship. Seth Rollins will escape Hell in a Cell by defeating Edge. Goldberg will get revenge for his son. He won't murder Bobby Lashley, but he'll beat him up pretty bad. Big E will retain the WWE Championship. Becky Lynch will retain her SmackDown Women's Championship. And Roman Reigns will retain the Universal Championship. Going to be a fun night. Actually, not a fun night. It's going to be a fun day, because it's 12 Eastern tomorrow. It's Crown Jewel. And guess what, folks? After Crown Jewel, you can come back here and watch the rapid reaction of me breaking down Crown Jewel and everything that went down. So make sure if you're here, you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that when I go live, you can join in and we can talk about what went down on Crown Jewel. Right? Yeah. All right, folks. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Post your predictions about what you think will happen at Crown Jewel. What do you think of my predictions? And yes, just your overall thoughts about everything. Yeah, post it down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.